Who's in charge of fleet? I've known her before she was on a patrol, before she was a trooper. I knew her mom down at District 6, and I knew her. She'd hang around the, I'm coming to see you. I want that car. First off, I'm gonna clarify something. My most significant achievement is my family. But I wrote that bio, and it sounds like I did all that by myself as far as my family. And we know that's not possible. A lady sitting right over there is a lot more responsible for that than I am. I'm very proud. She's truly the backbone of our Coleman family. Thank you. I was out talking to some of our troopers earlier. Where's that guy from Dayton? Who's going to Dayton? I lost track of him. Somebody is going to Dayton. There he is. We had a great conversation. We went to Dayton. It was one of the best jobs I ever had. You're going to enjoy it too. I made some mistakes out there, so don't look too close. Since I arrived today, informally, I know I've been inspecting and evaluating our troops. They did good. You look sharp, and I'm proud. Years ago, us at DPS, we talked about adding the stripe to our uniform. We didn't get it done. I'm glad you did. We talked about being identified as state troopers. We didn't get it done. I'm glad you did. I will say something kind of bothered me. And who am I? I'm gone. But our patrol cars have been painted white since 1950. I was not ready for that change. But I tell you what, after seeing our troops around the state and seeing that patrol car around the state, you made the change, you updated things. I'm glad you did. This reminds me of another graduation years ago. Troopers were there, family and friends were there, all proud and excitement. Uniforms looked sharp. And I want to talk just for a minute to the spouse, the significant other, and the troopers. If you haven't yet, start working on the ability to talk and share. I admit, 1967, I hadn't developed that ability yet. But it's so important. And spouses, there's going to be days at your workplace or at home, things are going to happen and you want to talk that night. You need to talk. I guarantee you, these guys, these troopers, they're going to come home, and at times they need to talk. They may not realize it, for 5 or 10 years later, like some of us. Sometimes that may be too late. They're going to see things that maybe a bunch of us had never thought about. They're going to see things that your neighbors never see. Most people don't see. They're not only going to see it, they're going to be out there in it. This is tough to say, but at times it's a tough job. There's going to be times when they bring their work home on their shoes. They're involved out there in things that most people don't even think about. I was. And all those others that have come before, all of them, they've been involved in it too, and you will too. Years ago, God love them, and I did love them, we were told, don't take your work home. Don't let your job interfere with your family. You're going to take that job home whether you want to or not. You may not realize it, but you're taking that job home, and it can definitely affect your family. Be able to talk. Be able to listen. You too, your spouse, like I said, is going to need time to talk also. You have to learn to listen. That's another thing I never learned to do until I think my sergeant, or it might have been my lieutenant, or it could have been my captain that finally straightened me out. But as a couple at home, to be successful, talk and share. There's tough days. First off, it's the greatest job in the world, but there's a lot of good days. Boy, it's fun. And then there's tough days. There's bad days. Then there's ugly days. Ugly. You need to talk about all those times, the good and the ugly, but be especially ready to discuss and talk. I'm not encouraging you to at all to disregard or ignore the professional services that are available. They weren't available years ago when some of us needed them. But don't forget to have those important private conversations at home. I'm not a counselor, but I've counseled. I've seen way too many divorces, too many careers cut short, up close and personal. If you talk, you'll be a much better employee. You have to be an employee first before you can be a good trooper. But you can be a better employee, you can be a better trooper. You can definitely be better at home if you talk and listen. I mentioned another graduation that I'm familiar with, and a trooper. His name was Tommy. Like you, soon he was out in his workplace, his environment that would be at least a third of his life, maybe half at times of his life. He's out in that workplace, and that workplace is the patrol car and the open highway. I say highway, maybe an open road, because at that time there was 221 miles of pavement in the state of Arizona. The other 2,759 miles was gravel and dirt. Arizona's population was about 440,000. Phoenix had not yet reached 50,000. Where we are today, which in those days would have been way, way out of Mesa, but Mesa's population was less than 4,000. There are 26,000 registered vehicles in the state of Arizona in 1931. To put that in perspective, the Arizona Cardinals personalized plate numbers 53,000 today. It was a desolate area, but needed, obviously. The Highway Patrol, as it was called then, was 1 month old. And as you know, just 19 years prior, Arizona wasn't even a state, but a territory. I say all of that to say this. Tommy and those 13 other original Arizona Highway Patrolmen were pioneers. True pioneers. Tommy didn't know what to expect out there. He'd had 30 days of training. Now, he was ready and he was eager, but he had challenges that he could not imagine. He didn't even have a radio for a while. He had a decent car, but I'd like to have that 31 Ford, you know? But that's about all he had. He checked in at the sheriff's office every now and then, the local sheriff's office, just to see if anything was going on, because there was no communication with headquarters, no communication with the district. There's no such thing as a district at that time. There's 14 officers scattered out across Arizona. I read the other day, by 2030, Arizona will have 11 million residents. I think today, you know better than I, but probably 6.5, 7 million, so that's only 7 years from now. Tommy had a lot of challenges. And like I say, he couldn't imagine the challenges that he had, or he, think about this, could he imagine the challenges that you're gonna have? No. You think he ever thought about an electric car? Do you think, I didn't think, that someday, today, you can drive up alongside a car, a 70,000-pound tractor trailer, and realize there's no driver sitting in it? In my day, I pulled up to a car and there was no driver. They either switched drivers maybe, or I've got a foot pursuit on my hands, you know? We didn't think about electric cars. We didn't think about a lot of things. Something that you have to remember, though, you too are pioneers. In this age of technology, and boy, it passed me by. The director, I want to tell you something. I'm up to date on my mandated training for the year. My grandkids, recently, we've had a class on my computer, which I call a phone, which I don't really know the capabilities of yet, but I can text a little bit. I know how to call home, but I am update on my training. That's important to me. But you are pioneers. We have no earthly idea what you're going to see, what challenges you're going to have. But I tell you, I'm confident today that I can look here and I feel comfortable. I'm often referred to as old school, and most of the time I take that as a compliment, I guess, I hope. I want to be new school. I love history. For years, I have been involved, and I totally enjoy what I call preserving, sharing, displaying our department's history. But I don't live in the past. I try not to. I want to be up to date. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what you're facing. I want to know what my wife and family are facing. I want to know what our leadership is facing and how I can help. I want to spread that to our other retirees, make sure they understand. What do you need and how we can help? And if I'm living in the past and just talking about those old highway patrol stories, which I love, till they kind of start getting on my nerves, I don't want to be old school. I want to be new school like you guys. I want to be new school like you guys. And again, I'm confident for our future that with what I see today, with the leadership that I see today, with the resources, background, and overall ability that they have, and they've continued to demonstrate it, together as a team, and together with you and your spouse as a team, we can meet and overcome any challenges that you're going to be facing. I wish maybe that Tommy and I could work alongside of you in the future. Who says we can't? Congratulations, Godspeed.
Thank you, Major Coleman. Governor Katie Hobbs appointed Colonel Jeffrey D. Glover as the Director of the Arizona Department of Public Safety on January 17th, 2023. Colonel Glover began his career with the Tempe Police Department in October of 1999 and has over 24 years of law enforcement experience. In February of 2020, Colonel Glover retired from the Tempe Police Department with more than 20 years of service. He returned to the Tempe Police Department later that year as interim Chief of Police and was appointed as permanent Chief of Police in August of 2021. Colonel Glover is the second National Vice President for the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives. He is a national board member of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving organization and is co-chair of their Traffic Safety Committee. Colonel Glover also serves on the International Association of Chiefs of Police Crime Prevention Committee. He holds a bachelor's degree in education from Northern Arizona University, as well as a master's in public administration through the University of Phoenix. Colonel Glover is a graduate of the Arizona Post Arizona Leadership Program, the FBI National Academy, and earned a certificate from the University of Arizona Eller School and Government Leadership. When he is not working, the Colonel enjoys spending time with his wife Tracy and 3 children, Noah, Jonathan, and Christopher. Please welcome Colonel Glover.
want to start off by thanking retired Major Coleman and your words of wisdom. Really appreciate that. We will be working on that vehicle for you. You took notes, right, Jenna? All right, we got you. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. It's an incredible privilege to stand here before you today, and a distinct honor to congratulate our newest class of state troopers. It has always taken a special calling to enter a career in law enforcement, but none more than in today's environment where your every move is scrutinized and on camera. Not everyone is capable of the selfless service that is required. In Class 562, thank you for pursuing this noble profession. Your family, your friends, your co-workers, and the citizens of Arizona, join me in celebrating your accomplishment. What you have accomplished was no easy task. Class 562, I would like for you to take a deep breath and just relax for a moment and be present in the moment. Slow down the nerves and just enjoy the moment and your thoughts right now, because you've earned it. It is important to remember to just be present and just be present in life itself. Today, your life will change forever when you take the oath of office and join the ranks of the Arizona State Troopers. Speaking of being president, none of us wearing the 7-point star have made it to where we are without the support of our family and our friends. Hang on to those friendships and those relationships. They will continue to be your vital support system throughout your career. To the family and friends of Class 562, I'm grateful for your role in the lives of these brave men and women that would not be here today without the encouragement and support and your influence in their lives. Your encouragement, no doubt, ensured that they have been able to meet the high standards required of being a state trooper. And for that, the Arizona Department of Public Safety thanks you. However, your work is not done, and your continued support and patience and understanding will be tested and needed throughout their law enforcement career. I would like to thank you, the training staff of Class 562. The staff demonstrated dedication and commitment to providing the highest level of law enforcement training to transform you into Arizona State Troopers. Captain Powell, Sergeant Coughlin, Troopers Fleming, Leba, and Caldwell, thank you. You provided instruction and counseling, mentoring, and served as role models for the members of Class 562, and congratulations and thank you for a job well done. The academy to be a state trooper is different than all other academies. Every aspect of your training was designed to push you to your limits and beyond to ensure that you had the ability to maintain composure and focus. There are 141 law enforcement agencies in the state of Arizona. These include county deputies, municipal, college, and tribal officers and federal agents. Only one agency, DPS, has the distinct honor of the title of State Trooper. There will be bad days, so you got to lean on your family and your friends. And we will see people at their absolute worst, but we will still treat them with dignity and respect that they deserve. Most people will go years without ever having contact with a state trooper. And when they do, for them it may be a traumatic event, be it a citation, collision, investigation, or arrest. Ensure that your professionalism and empathy leave a positive, lasting impression. People you encounter will know that the spirit of the DPS motto is courteous vigilance. Class 562, my advice to you as you begin your career as state troopers, be courageous. Keep your emotions and, more importantly, your ego in check. Don't let anyone provoke you into unprofessional behavior. When a state trooper arrives on scene, he or she is expected to make the world a safe place. Be courageous and assume command of the situation. No one knows if it's your first day or your last day on the job, but they do expect security in knowing a state trooper is on scene. We are the guardians of justice, the protectors of the innocent, and the defenders of the vulnerable. We must always remember that our actions have a profound impact on the lives of those we serve, and we must always strive to act with compassion, empathy, and respect. Be tactical. Maintain a tactical advantage at all times. Master your skills, your skill sets, and do not settle for being proficient or just meeting the minimum standard. Get comfortable with debriefing everything you learn. Accept constructive criticism and challenge yourself to improve tactically and always do better the next time. Do not become complacent. Complacency kills. Keep your guard up and be prepared throughout your shift. Maintain your physical fitness. Physical conditioning is mandatory for your survival in this profession. It is also a healthy and a positive way to deal with stress and pressure of a career in law enforcement. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, running, rowing, lifting, grappling, hiking, biking, whatever it is, just make it a habit. Be honest. Everyone makes mistakes, and when you do, be honest about what happened and learn from that experience. Most mistakes are survivable in law enforcement, but dishonesty is not. Remember, the standard is excellence. Those that came before us, the public that we serve, and the 30 troopers who gave their lives for this agency deserve it. They deserve excellence. Lastly, in this profession, it is important for us to succeed. You must succeed, as the citizens of Arizona are counting on us. Troopers do not check 10-8 with a mindset of, you win some, you lose some, or I'll try my best and see how it goes. Come to work prepared physically, mentally, and tactically each and every day to succeed. Your coworkers, your family, and the public depend on you to do so. I wish you the best of luck, but luck has nothing to do with it. Your commitment to excellence and tenacity will ensure your success. Congratulations, and welcome to DPS. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. The staff members entrusted with Class 562 are state troopers, but they are more than that. They are role models, teachers, counselors, mentors, and among the hardest working individuals in the department. Leading Class 562 along the way was Sergeant Jason Coughlin. Sergeant Coughlin began his career with the department in November 2012. After completing his academy training, he was assigned to District 12 Cortez Junction in the Highway Patrol Division. After 18 months, he transferred to the Metro Patrol Bureau in Metro West, where he worked on 2 different squads for 4 years. Still a trooper, Sergeant Coughlin was assigned to the basic training section in 2019 as a recruit training trooper for classes 524 and 532. In February 2020, he was promoted to sergeant and assigned to the Highway Patrol Division as an administrative sergeant. In July 2021, he transferred to the department's Internal Affairs unit, where he worked for 1.5 years. And in December of 2022, Sergeant Coughlin was assigned to the Arizona State Trooper Academy as a class sergeant. This is Sergeant Coughlin's first class as an Academy class sergeant. Please welcome Sergeant Jason Coughlin.
Good afternoon. Before I start, I'd like to thank the staff and members of the Living Word Bible Church for allowing us to use our beautiful facility. I'd also like to thank the department heads and all DPS personnel present who took time out of their busy schedules to be here today and to welcome DPS's newest troopers. On October 31st, 2022, individuals from the Arizona Department of Public Safety began their law enforcement career as members of Class 562. The goal of the staff was not to just give the recruits the basic training to become a state trooper. It was to push them to a limit physically, mentally, and emotionally they did not know existed. Class, 32 weeks ago, you started this journey by waiting in an academy parking lot where your staff greeted you in a way that is unlike most jobs. In fact, when you met your staff that morning, they made sure you felt the stress of the academy right away. You were tested from the first minute you were assigned to the academy, and you quickly learned you would not be given anything and that you would earn everything, to include the badge you'll receive today. The badge signifies more than just a piece of metal that we put on our chest. It's an accomplishment that many have tried to obtain and many have failed during the process. Like every class that came before you, accomplishments along the way were met with a few hiccups and challenges. Whether it was our trips to the dog park, where the staff and I made sure you did not lose your discipline, the many class workouts and runs to test your drive and endurance, or overcoming OC spray, achievements were always followed by other challenges. The Arizona State Trooper Academy prides itself on being one of, if not the hardest academies in the state. You were pushed in many ways, and at the time you may not have understood the why, but hopefully now you do. Every situation and experience at the academy had a purpose. It was to ensure you were properly prepared to complete the job of an Arizona State Trooper. On day one, each one of you were asked why you want to become a state trooper. Some of you felt a duty to serve, others said it's what you always wanted to do. Whatever that reason was, remember it. There's going to be peaks, valleys, and plateaus in your career, but if you remember your why, you'll remember your purpose in choosing this career. I know I speak for the staff of Class 562 when I say how extremely proud we are of each one of you. I have watched all of you come together to achieve this goal together. Each one of you in some way had deficiencies or flaws during our time together. Some experienced academic challenges, some had challenges in defensive tactics, firearms, physical conditioning, the list goes on. Some had challenges that reached outside the academy life and were personal. I saw each one of you put your personal self-interest aside to help another recruit succeed. As you sit here today, you should be proud, because as a team, you've earned the title of an Arizona State Trooper together. I want to take a moment to recognize the 12 laterals that have been molded into our class. These 12 individuals came into the academy environment, put their pride aside, and made the whole experience good for everyone. From the staff at the State Trooper Academy, thank you. Your commitment and mission and understanding of the environment you were in, and your willingness to adjust at times for the betterment of the class, speaks volume to your character and commitment to this agency. To the family and friends of Class 562, today is a day you should be proud of your trooper. They've earned their place. I also know the pride you feel in their achievement may also be met with anxiety, knowing what they could face every day on the road. Please rest assured knowing that they are ready. We wouldn't let them sit here today if they weren't. I want to thank you for your support of these troopers, because without that support, I'm sure this journey would have been much different. Class, regarding your family, I want to share a quick story and lesson I learned very early in my career. On my very first day of field training, I met my first captain. I'll never forget what he said to me. I was expecting a message about giving my all to the agency and the expectation of long hours. That was not his message. His message was, when you come to work, work hard. But when you go home, work harder. Simply put, he was trying to tell me to put my family first. He knew if my personal life was in order, my professional life would reflect that. Now, don't get me wrong. When you put on that uniform you check on for the day, you are expected to work hard. The department and the community expect nothing less. But when you go home for the day or the weekend, it's time to be a good husband, a good father, and a good friend. Class, you were challenged every day during our time together, but I want to leave you with one last challenge before we part ways. The challenge is never quit. From the first day we met, I preach you the term never quit. I want you to keep this in the back of your mind during your career. Never quit pressing your uniform, shining your boots before your shift. Never quit training and physical conditioning. Never quit the discipline you learned during your time at the academy. When you're trying to transfer to a specialty unit or promote to a higher rank, never quit. And when things get tough or things just aren't going your way, never quit, because the Arizona Department of Public Safety and the citizens of this state need you. In closing, please be safe, have fun, enjoy your career, and remember, wearing the silver tan and this badge, the 7-point badge, means you are a cut above the rest. Good luck and Godspeed. At this time, I would like to recognize the recruit training troopers from Class 562. They have worked very closely with the class over the past 32 weeks. I saw firsthand how much they sacrificed to ensure the success of our class. They have been mentors and role models for the new troopers and have helped me ensure that we have provided the best training possible. I could not have done it without them. Will the RTTs from Class 562 please join me on stage? I'd like to introduce them from left to right. Trooper Brent Caldwell. Trooper Cody Leba. On behalf of the class and myself, I would like to thank you for your efforts, assistance, and dedication. Not on stage, but sitting in the crowd is Class 562's lead recruit training trooper, Trooper Jim Fleming. Class 562 will more than likely be Trooper Fleming's last class he graduates. Trooper Fleming was a recruit training trooper for 14 classes during his career and has left a lasting impression on everyone he came in contact with. He has been a staple not only for Class 562, but every class he led during his time at the Academy. I know for a fact if you worked with Trooper Fleming, or if he was your recruit training trooper, you will never forget him. Trooper Fleming, will you please stand to be recognized? I would also like to recognize one more person that is very important to the class's success and somebody I look up to and consider a friend. I took over as class sergeant in week 7 for Class 562 from Sergeant Ken Norton. Sergeant Norton transferred to another unit in December of 2022, not before the class got to see his passion for training new troopers. On behalf of the Academy staff, Sergeant Norton, thank you for your support and commitment to Class 562 and every class you were part of over the past 8 years while assigned to the Academy. Sergeant Norton, would you please stand to be recognized? I now have the honor of introducing the class speaker, representing Class 562, Trooper Esteban Lopez.
Good afternoon, friends, family, command staff, and staff of Class 562. My name is Recruit Lopez, and in a few minutes, I'll have the privilege of being introduced as Trooper Esteban Lopez. It is such an honor to be up here today to give a class speech on behalf of Class 562. I can assure you, if I could come up here and try to use one word to describe our experience, I would not be able to. Not that anybody was counting, but this journey for us spanned 7 months or 221 days. I can promise you, every day was a new challenge. And with every new challenge, we were one step closer to earning the title of an Arizona State Trooper. We started off as a class of 13. Unfortunately, along the way, we lost 2 recruits. But we were lucky enough to double our class size with our lateral troopers. Today, we are lucky enough to graduate with 11 new troopers and 12 lateral troopers. Even though we were a small class, we grew a bond. We started as strangers and began working as a team. Today, I see us as a family. Even though our ages span from 20 to 40 years old, we were able to adapt and help each other achieve any task handed to us. If anything, our range in age and experience was an attribute to our success. Every single day, we were constantly reminded that this badge, which so many proudly have worn before us, wasn't going to be given to us. We had to earn it. To get to this point, we had to dedicate a lot of blood, sweat, teamwork, dedication, and a little bit of tears. With every trip to the dog park, it was a good reminder that we were always being watched. And it was a wake-up call that at any moment we were going to get disciplined. And believe me, the dog park was right across from the classroom for our training officers to see every day. Even if there wasn't any time in the schedule for a quick trip to the dog park, they always found time. Not only did this academy teach us that there are consequences for our actions, but it also gave us the tools we are going to need if and or when we would make it to the road, as Trooper Caldwell would always tell us. We learned Title 13 and the Title 28, which I consider the bread and butter of being a state trooper, firearms training, defensive tactics where we learn to always stay in the fight, and who could forget about the best experience of all, pepper spray. Although some of us had it worse than others on pepper spray day, I can promise you we were able to get through it together, even when we had to force open our eyes just to be able to take a class photo. That's a very good photo of us, by the way. It's always worth it at the end. But if you were to ask any of us, we would never do it again. To my fellow cohorts of Class 562, if we were to look back at these 32 weeks, I would not have done it with any other group than with you guys. It is an honor to finally be able to call you guys my brothers in blue, or rather, brothers in tan. I wish nothing but the best as we start our careers. Remember, this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. We will forever be one team with one vision. Whatever path you choose to take throughout your careers, as Trooper Label would always tell us, to each their own. We will always be Class 562, the Crusaders. And to the friends and family who supported us as we transformed from civilians to troopers, thank you. Without your support, we wouldn't be in this position. Because family is everything. It's a bond that can never be broken. But our need for your support doesn't end here. We will continue to bring you along in this journey because as much as we motivated each other, we were lucky enough to have you pushing us to never give up. So thank you. To the staff of Class 562, Trooper Caldwell, Trooper Leyva, Trooper Fleming, Sergeant Coughlin, Sergeant Noren, and Captain Powell, thank you. Without your knowledge and expertise, we wouldn't be in this position to accept the badges that you have earned and wear with pride. Everything you have taught us has led us to this point of earning our own badges and the prestigious title of an Arizona State Trooper. On behalf of Class 562, I say, again, thank you for your hard work and dedication to our success. And to everyone that attended, thank you for your time. May God bless you, and take care.
Thank you, Trooper Lopez. I would now like to introduce Captain Brandon Powell. Captain Powell is the ranking DPS commander and one of 2 command level officers assigned to the Academy in support of the Academy commander. Captain Powell is executive officer for Class 562, overseeing all aspects of the training program, culminating with today's ceremony. Captain Powell will reveal the awards presented to individual leaders within the class and introduce the class video. Please welcome Captain Brandon Powell.
Thank you, Major Beck. Good afternoon. Every individual in Class 562 has worked hard to achieve their goal of becoming peace officers. I would, however, like to take the opportunity to recognize a few individuals who have demonstrated exceptional performance within 5 categories during their time in the Academy. The first award is in the area of academics. Throughout the Academy, the students experience over 1,100 hours of training to include 49 tests and an overall comprehensive final exam. The award for the top recruit in the area of academics is presented to the student with the highest academic average. With an overall average score of 97%, congratulations to Martine Barella. . The next award is for firearms. This award is presented to the student with the highest combined score from 2-day and 2-night qualifications. With an overall score of 250 points out of a possible 250, congratulations to Martine Barella. Next is the award for top recruit in the area of physical fitness. This is presented to the student with the highest physical fitness scores throughout their academy training. With an overall percentage of 93%, congratulations to Cameron Baldwin. The award for top overall recruit is presented to the recruit who has demonstrated the most versatility in the area of firearms, physical fitness, and academics. With an overall percentage of 94%, congratulations to Eddie Tarango. The final category is for exemplary recruit. This recognition is given to an individual chosen by the rest of their class. The class voted by secret ballot for the recruit they believe represents the spirit of the class through leadership, humility, integrity, and determination. The result of their vote remains secret until this moment. The Exemplary Recruit Award goes to Brian Jessup. Please join me in congratulating all of the award winners as they return to their seats. The recruits in Class 562 have completed some of the most impactful training of their career. Their experiences at the Academy will last a lifetime. They have been pushed mentally, physically, and academically. They have experienced varying levels of adversity and have demonstrated proficiency in areas that will serve them well in their new roles in their respective communities. You have likely seen this transformation into the complex world of policing and public service take place. Many of you have shared in the joys, frustrations, and challenges of your loved ones, but you haven't quite experienced the day-to-day academy life. The staff of Class 562 would like to share some of these moments with you in a class video. We hope you enjoy.
Thank you, Captain Powell. Some of our graduates are related to current members of the law enforcement community and have elected to have their badges presented by their law enforcement family member. All other badges will be presented by Colonel Glover. There are 4 of you who have been pre-identified to assist with the badge presentations. At this time, please move to the left side of the stage. On day 1 of the academy staff tells the class that they will not simply be handed a badge. A badge must be earned. The department's badge is a continuing legacy that spans our history from this moment back to 1931, when the first 14 officers donned an Arizona Highway Patrol badge. I will now ask Colonel Glover and the recruit training troopers to come to the stage for the presentation of the badges. As we are celebrating today, we encourage you to make some noise as the names are called. Squad 1, please rise. The first badge is presented to Brian Jessup. Elliot Beltran Mejia. Frederick Ortega. The next badge will be presented by retired Pima County Sheriff's Detective Frank Leyva to his nephew, Adrian Lopez. Esteban Lopez. Squad 2, please rise. The next badge is presented to Luis Arvizu. Kirby Mergen. The next badge will be presented by U.S. Border Patrol Supervisor James Wright to his nephew, Kevin Palroy. The next badge will be presented by Arizona DPS Trooper Joshua Stockton to his brother-in-law, Cameron Baldwin. Martine Barella. Eddie Tarango. Squad 3, please rise. The next badge is presented to Brooks Deathridge. Jason Touchtone. Matthew Ortiz, Jr. The next badge will be presented by retired Bullhead City Police Detective Raul Garson to his stepson, Richard Hill. Carlos Velasco. William Gallego. Squad 4, please rise. The next badge is presented to Christopher Davis. Keith Miranda. Brian Vega. Rafael Lazarda. Christopher Fortunato. Michael Fuller. Thank you, Colonel. The one remaining badge on display is fitted with a shroud in remembrance of the 30 department troopers who have fallen in line of duty. There is a long-standing tradition in the police community involving the pinning of the badge. I will ask Captain Powell to return to the stage to direct the pinning of the badge.
The new trooper has selected someone of significance to pin their badge on their uniform for the very first time. Someone who has been with them through the ups and downs of life, and someone who will be there now and throughout this challenging career. The badge pinning process will be completed by squad designation. If you are pinning the badge on for your loved one, Hopefully the appropriate squad number has been communicated to you. There will be time and opportunity to take additional photos after the ceremony. Squad 1, please rise. Post. At this time, I would like to invite the selected family members to come to the front of the stage to join your loved one. Squad 1, post. Squad 2, please rise. Post. At this time, I would like to invite the selected family members to come to the front of the stage to join your loved one. Squad 2, post. Squad 3, please rise. Post. At this time, I would like to invite the selected family members to come to the front of the stage to join your loved one. Squad 3, post. Squad 4, please rise. Post. At this time, I would like to invite the selected family members to come to the front of the stage to join your loved one. Squad 4, post.
The final step in the journey from citizen to trooper is the administration of the oath of office. Colonel Glover, if you could come to the center of the stage. The certifying body for Peace Officer Authority in the state of Arizona is the Arizona Peace Officer Standards and Training Board, which has provided the oath of office, which Colonel Glover now holds. Colonel Glover, at your pleasure, please administer the oath of office to Class 562.
The oath of office represents a trust between society and the peace officer. The oath of office for peace officers is the binding representation of this trust, a trust that is dedication to our policing profession and our fellow peace officers, your agencies, and most importantly, the citizens you serve. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Brian Scott Jessup. I, Elliot Giovanni Bonchanda. I, Frederick Trinidad Ortega Jr. I, Adrian Lopez. I, Esteban Fernando Lopez. I, Luis Carlos Alviso. I, Yuri Thomas Murgan. I, Devin Patrick Thoroy. I, Henry Troy Baldwin. I, Martin Adrian Barella. I, Eddie Alexis Fernando Castaneda. I, Rosie Aaron Nepper. I, Jason Douglas Touchstone. I, Randy Luke Ortiz Jr. I, Richard Allen Hill. I, Carlos Román Velasco. I, William Ernest Gallo. I, Christopher Matthew Davis. I, Keith Antonio Miranda. I, Brian Bernardino Vega Gutierrez. I, Rafael Estrada Chavez. I, Christopher James Fortunato. I, Michael William Fuller.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution.
And the Constitution.
And the laws of the state of Arizona.
The laws of the state of Arizona.
That I will bear true faith.
And I will bear true faith.
And allegiance to the same.
And allegiance to the same.
And defend them against enemies.
And defend them against enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic.
And that I will faithfully and impartially.
And I will faithfully and impartially.
Discharge the duties of a peace officer.
Discharge the duties of a peace officer.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Hands down. Congratulations. Thank you.
We would like to thank lead pastor Scott Anderson and all the staff of the Living Word Bible Church who have graciously worked with us and made everything come together during the days of planning and practice leading up to today's ceremony. We would also like to thank the many dedicated members of the department who have worked tirelessly in getting these new troopers to this point in their training and careers. To the friends and family members of these new troopers, we thank you for the support you've provided them, which has allowed them to succeed in reaching this milestone. A department photographer will be available following the ceremony for photographs with your new trooper if you wish. Please rise for the retrieval of colors. Sergeant Coughlin, please come forward to retire the guidon and dismiss your class for the final time.